All right. Everybody has already taken their handout and they put their handout on page 12 in their journal. Okay, again, these are just the steps of the dip powder with the nail tip. Once you do that, you can put that to the side. We will not be using that again today. Your glue and scissors, we'll put those away later for your notebook. Okay. The other thing that we need is we need a napkin. We need the white nail tips. We need our new nail fingers. We need our nail glue. We need the new nail file. We need our nail brush and our face mask. If you have your primer, use your primer. If you don't have your primer, no big deal for today. It's okay, but you take your primer out. When you're doing nail tip application on a real human, not a finger, you need to push back the cuticle. So you need orange wood stick and you need your natural nail file. Because this is plastic and we're doing the plastic finger, we are going to use a rough file. If you were doing this on a client or a real fingernail, you use this orange emery board. Okay? Keep that in mind. Don't confuse that when you're working on clients. Does anybody need any of these supplies? Does everybody have all of that? We will be using the white nail tips because it's easier to see. That way, whenever you're doing it and you're filing, you can really see. Doing whites today, not tomorrow because we don't see you for testing, but Thursday, we're going to do the clear and you'll see how much harder it is with the clear. Okay? All right. Any questions from there? Now, a lot of the nail glues, they don't work very well. Some are very tacky. So we're just I'm gonna give you a new nail glue, but I want to share this here. This nail glue that comes in your kit, there's 2 openings. Okay, I literally just learned this last class period because I had never used that end. But this top part, okay, already comes with the hole, so be careful when you're opening it. Don't glue yourself together. Okay, when you squeeze it, you squeeze the middle and the bean comes up out of the top. Always wipe the tip nozzle, let it dry for a second, and then close your glue. This bottom part, you have to turn it upside down all the way. When you unscrew the bottom part, it's a big lip. It's got a big hole. So you can pour out glue, maybe when you're gluing down gems or whatnot. Make sure that you wipe the top, give it a second to dry, and then glue it back or seal it back all the way, okay? Making sure that you don't have any glue to where when you close it, it gets stuck and then might as well throw it away. A lot of your kits, some of these are already dried up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine and give you the good glue so you can have glue. That glue, the good glue from the Mac Art brand, you need to cut the tip so the glue will come out. There's different kinds of bottles, depends on the brand and manufacturer. Now, if this cheapy glue works, use this one and leave the Mac Art, the good glue, for clients. Now, because I'm giving you this glue, because your glue's not working, I'm not going to have any more glue like that. That's all that glue I have. So when you have clients, don't come asking me for glue, because I don't have any more glue. I just gave it all out. Okay? You have your glue and the explanation of how the glue works. Now you know how to work your glue. Open up your nail box. This side little container compartment, that's where your glue goes. That's what it's for. Sometime, whenever, it would be nice if you numbered your compartments with a Sharpie. Maybe you number it down here at the bottom or on the side or somewhere. That's size 0, size 1, size 2, all the way to 10. Because it's hard to read the little numbers sometimes, especially when you get older. Okay? There's 10 for 10 fingers. These are some that have kind of fallen out of place. So whenever you have a nail that falls out of place, you can put it on the side as well, letting you know, go back later and put it in the right slot. I will edit that out of the video. Maybe, I might forget, might not. All right, make sure that you always use a rubber band around your box so that your nail tips don't go and we have a piñata situation going on. All right, do you remember what number I told you to remember for the nail tip?
3. No. 4.
You're gonna take the test, the state board exam. I told you a number of nail tip you're gonna use. It's very important. You need to remember the number. What's the number size? 6. Number 6. Everybody say number 6. 6. All right.
Wait, 6.
So go ahead and find you the number 6 in a white nail tip.
Miss, is it the same for these?
It could be, yes. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. Once you have your number 6 nail, okay, you can close your box. Now, I'm going to show you how to size nails, but not today. Today we're doing something different. Okay, but number 6. This is the same procedure you're going to do at state board, so I'm teaching you now so you can practice this year, next year, and your senior year, and you'll be perfect and a pro by the time you get there. Okay? All right. What we're going to do, okay, is we're going to learn about the nail tip and the anatomy of it, and then how to properly apply it on the finger. Okay? Now, we push everything to the side. Let's go and get our nail file. Remembering that if this was a real person, we wash our hands, our station is prepped, put cuticle remover or softener. We're going to clip the nail as short as possible. The reason why you want your natural fingernail to be short is that if you don't cut it short, when she walks out of the salon and she turns her fingers over this way, she's gonna see her natural nail and it doesn't look cute, because natural nails have a yellowish, some people brownish stain to them, and so you'll see it and it's kind of gross. So you want it as short as possible. Okay? So we've clipped the nail, file the nail, okay? Push back the cuticle, nipped it if that was your situation, and we're gonna buff the top on a human. On this plastic, that's not gonna do anything. We need to rough it up. Now, here we go. Let's look at our finger. Take a look and see how shiny the skin of the finger is. There's no nicks, no cuts, no scratches. It's perfect. Your goal, your one goal is to, well, one of them, is to make sure that when we're done, that it looks just like this. No scratches on the skin out or around from off of the nail bed. Because if you scratch this, then that means you scratched your client and you possibly cut them and now they're bleeding, and if they have cooties, well, happy birthday, you got them too, okay? So no scratching the finger, okay? Rule number 1. So first thing that we're gonna do, because it's a brand new finger and it's plastic, go ahead and put your finger like so and feel it out. Maybe might be uneven, okay? You notice that there's no divot, it already has a nail on it. If you turn it sideways, it kind of even dips down a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do, we're gonna hold our nail file from the very tip edge. We're gonna go, pretending this is a real person, right? And we're just going to file the length, using the length of the file long ways and from one direction, and long ways from the other direction. We're not reshaping. There's no back and forth seesaw. We're just gently shaping. It already has a shape. It's oval. We don't want to move the shape. Don't change the shape. Now, take your finger from the top and the bottom and flick out that plastic. Do you feel that? You see that plastic, that extra plastic? Now you're going to take your nail file and file that plastic off gently, making sure that you don't change the shape of the nail. You're just getting rid of that plastic. File that off. Nice, evenly on both sides, very gently. Okay, once you have all that plastic off, then you're good. You can very easily go overboard, so you got to be careful. Take your brush, brush it off. Keeping in mind, when you're using this on a human, you have to wash, make sure it's clean before you use it, and make sure you wash it after you use it. Okay? All right, now we have a nice shape. From here, we are now going to prep the top of the nail. Now, by prepping the top of the nail, we're going to grab the nail file at the tip, the front tip. We're only working with a small area, okay? Put your pinky down for support, and what you're going to do is you're going to file, you're going to rough up the top of the nail. Don't scratch the skin. Don't scratch the skin. And you're just buffing away. Now, just like concrete, we need to get it rough. We need to have divots and dips so that the glue will stick, so the acrylic will stick, so that the gel will stick, so the powders will stick. Use the curvature of this little file so that you can work around the tip area of the base area of the cuticle without cutting the client, without scratching your nail. Now, again, this is plastic, so you're pushing a little harder than you would on a client. You're being a little bit more rough, but still try to stay away from that cuticle area. When you take your state board exam, you're going to have to do this on your mannequin finger. Take your brush, brush it off. They will check to see how well you did. If your finger's all scratched up, they might be like, wait a second, she doesn't know what she's doing. She didn't pay attention in class. It's not done right. Let's take some points off, okay? Most importantly, you want to practice like you play, because you're going to play like you practice. And if you scratch it all up, then when you get to a client, you're really not going to know what you're doing. You're going to have an unhappy client, maybe a bleeding client, okay? Once the top of that nail is nice and roughed up, it should look kind of white-ish. Take your brush and brush off. Now, there's something called the bonder, and there's something called primer. There's different steps, different manufacturers, different directions. Today we're just going to use the primer if you have it in your Cuccio kit, okay? If you don't have it, no big deal, don't worry about it today. What does the primer do? Dehydrates the nail, takes the oils off, it preps the nail for the whatever to stick. So we're going to take a little bit of our primer, making sure there's no dust on our nail. And we're going to gently apply that primer. Now, a lot of people will say you only need to put the primer where you're going to put the glue. Well, if I really want my nails to stick, I'm just going to go ahead and put it all over. It's not going to hurt it. But you will get people that will have that argument. And that's okay. All right. Get my glue out of here because I left it in my little box. We're not gonna cut the nail tip today. We're just gonna apply. Now, this is what I need you to do. Ready, done? I need you to watch first. So put everything down, empty your hands, just to watch your eyeballs up here. Okay? Very important tips, so don't miss the tips. Okay? What did Ms. Ramirez say? Wipe your glue so it doesn't get stuck. Okay. I think when I turned it over, it spilled out. Okay. It's always good to, you can glue a penny at the bottom of your at the bottom of your nail glue so it always stays upright. Because if you lay it down, since it has a hole, it's going to spill out. That's probably what happened. So it's always good to lay it upright. In your kit, you might want to do that. All right, so here we go. Now watch. Take a look at on your box here. It says half well. Take a look at the bottom of your nail tip like you're gonna scoop something up. Not where the the nail number is, but the other side where the 2 points are. Do you see how it has like a little line? It has like a little divot? That is called a nail well. Like a water well is used to hold water, a nail well is used to hold the nail glue. That is the only place that there should be glue. Should be enough, but it shouldn't be too much, and I'll tell you why in a second. So when you're gonna take it, you're gonna lay your glue sideways and you're gonna squeeze the middle, and it's hard to see on that wall over there, but you're gonna squeeze out a bead of glue. Okay, watch first. You're going to place the bead of glue down in the middle, don't squeeze anymore, and then you're gonna rock it up and down. You're gonna nicely slide the lip of the nail glue tip, making sure that you have nail glue on both ends and all over. Put that to the side. Watch now. You're gonna take the tippy tip of your nail. You're gonna start vertical like this. I'm gonna show you sideways. I'm gonna put the tippy tip on the nail well, right there, and then I'm gonna go upwards. I'm not just gonna come down and push down because I'm gonna get air pockets. So I'm gonna start at the base like here, and I'm gonna rock it up. So when I rock it up, I'm gonna push down with my thumb on the top, and with my finger, I'm gonna push up at the fingerprint area. I'm gonna squeeze it together. Things to watch out for. Make sure your nail's not crooked, sideways. Make sure it's not crooked up and down. Another thing to watch out for, if you put too much glue on the nail well when you're squeezing it, the glue is gonna seep out to the side. So when you pop your finger at the bottom, if you look at your finger, you're squishing it and the little chunky parts of your fingertips kind of go sideways. The glue is gonna get stuck. One, you're gonna get stuck to your client, or two, you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna get the skin by the hyponychium stuck to the nail. Have you ever had your nails done and then they go and they do that and they unstick it? They use a file and then they push your skin back and sometimes it hurts. Sometimes if you wait, if you gotta do it immediately, that's fine. If you wait and the nail, you felt it before, it hurts. You can rip her skin off and make her bleed if it's like a bad case of it. So don't put too much glue and don't wait too long before you pull the skin back to make sure that you didn't stick her together, okay? All right, so let's try it. Put a little bit of glue on your nail well. Okay, turn your nail upside down. Squeeze your glue. You're gonna put a bead at the nail well and slide the tip. Don't squeeze anymore. Slide the tip of the nail glue side to side. Apply it all the way over. Take the finger, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold it vertically and rock upwards to push away all of the bubbles. No air bubbles. The reason why we don't want air bubbles is because if you have air bubbles, it doesn't stick. If it doesn't stick, then once you start filing, it's going to pop off. Or whenever it doesn't work, you can use the other one. Or whenever your client goes home a few days later, she's going to come back and say, hey, my nail popped off. You want nails to last. So start vertically and rock it upwards, making sure there are no air bubbles. With the white one or with colored tips, it's hard to see the air bubbles, but on Thursday when we do the clear, you'll really be able to see the air bubbles, okay? Once you've applied your glue and your nail tip and it's stuck, you counted maybe to 10. Go ahead and wipe your glue, let it dry for a second, and close your glue. Leave it upright in your kit. We're not going to be using our nail tips anymore, so you can put your nail tips away for now. We're done with our primer. We're done with our nail glue. what we're going to need is just our file, our brush, and our nail tip. Okay? Now, once that's done, now keep in mind this is plastic, so it's going to take a while. Sometimes it doesn't stick, sometimes you're filing it, pops off. It's plastic, be patient with it. It sticks better on human. This is nail glue, it's not super glue. It's very similar, but it's not the same thing, okay? So it's not going to super stick. Sometimes it pops off, so don't get frustrated with it. Make sure to practice, because at Stay Bored, if you're panicking, that's a bad combination. Then when you're done, I want you to take the nail and look at it sideways and feel it. From the nail bed to the nail tip. Can you feel the bump? Yeah. Well, what you need to do is you need to get rid of that bump, that stair, and you need to make a ramp. Like someone going up the stairs, up a ramp that's in a wheelchair. If there's a bump, they can't go up. You got to make a ramp to where it smoothly transitions and there's no problem. There's no stopping. So when you put your finger like this and you feel it, our goal is to get rid of that bump without scratching. Yearbook pictures, y'all look cute. Without scratching the skin. Okay? So when you are filing, keep in mind, don't scratch the skin, all right? Go ahead and close your glue. Your nail box should be closed. Make sure to wipe your glue. We need to make sure that our mask is on. We're gonna have our nail brush close to us, and we have our file ready to go. Remember that when you are using a nail file and it's new, you have to etch your file, getting that sharp corner out, but this is plastic, so we're not gonna. Now, we're gonna hold the file in the middle, okay? Because we're gonna use a small area, because we gotta be very careful. You have to get rid of that bump. You have to get rid of the stair. So file the nail, you can put your pinky down for support. File that nail tip to get rid of that bump. It has to be seamless. Now, keep in mind, obviously, that you are working on a human and that they have a fingernail that's already thin. Whoops, mine came up. It's already thin. So too much, then you can possibly, potentially, thin out their nail. And that will hurt. It will burn. If your nail comes off, just wipe it off and apply again. Hold it, let it set. Hold it for a few. If the glue is too wet, it's not going to do anything. Kind of has to be tacky a little bit. Alright, so again, you're filing. If you need to file, you can file longwise on the side of the nail, making sure that your file is nice and smooth. You want to run your finger over the top of the nail and feel a ramp. You should not feel a bump. The point of this is that if you polish the nails, you should not be able to see that there's a nail tip on there. It should be seamless. Okay? Without scratching the client's finger and without scratching too much of the nail bed to thin out the nail. You also have to thin down the actual nail tip so it's not a weird bump that you got going on. Now, if you did not lay down your glue properly and you have air bubbles, you're going to see the air bubbles when you're filing. Take your nail brush, brush off, and feel it out. Should be nice and smooth. Wherever you feel a bump, then that's when you know you need to file it some more. Should not feel a bump. Then check the side of your finger. How much scratches does it have? Is it pretty good? Did you just cut your client all up? How you doing? Okay. We did not cut the nail tip. We're not going to. Okay. Any questions on how to apply the nail tip number 6 to the finger and how to file? Okay, so you have about 5 minutes for the bell rings. We need to go ahead and finish our filing. Try to get rid of that bump.